Hello everyone, this is Joanne, the cake lady from Passionate's Bakery. Today we're going to make brownies, chocolate brownies from scratch, and I have two guests that are going to do it with me, and it's Tracy and Marco. And actually they're going to do most of the hands-on. I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to do. Our first ingredient, which is 3/4 cup of sugar. Tracy has actually already prepared everything, laid it out, measured it, pre-measured it, so it's going to make everything kind of quick. While Tracy is doing that, she's also going to add another stick of butter. Marco is going to take 2 tablespoons of water and the chocolate and put it in the microwave on high for about 2 minutes.
So I actually put the water in the chocolate?
You can add that together and it's going to melt down a little bit.
So do I do it a straight 2 minutes, or do I stop after a minute and stir it, or what would you recommend?
You can do it a straight 2 minutes, and it's usually pretty good about melting. After the bars are melted, we're going to add those in, but in the meantime, go ahead and crack your eggs. We're going to add in 2 large eggs. See, and while Marco is doing that, Miss Tracy, you can get your pan and go ahead and pre-spray it. We'll get that ready. We'll go ahead and get that sprayed down so it'll be ready for us to put our batter in. Next, we're going to add our flour. What do we have in there so far?
Sugar and butter.
Sugar and butter. Go ahead and start it and let it start creaming, getting it all together. You can put it on low. Oh yeah, the opposite side. You can put it on low. Alright. So we go ahead and put in 1 egg at a time. Marco can do that. There we go, that's good. Now while that's mixing, Miss Tracy, you can add in a teaspoon of vanilla. That's when it starts smelling real sweet and chocolatey. Is that mixing in there real good? Alright. Now we can go ahead and get the chocolate, and we're going to add the chocolate.
It's a little bit hot.
Actually, that's perfect. Before we put the hot chocolate in, we're going to add a little bit of the flour mixture. So what we can do now, since Marco is standing right here, you can go ahead and put in your 2 teaspoons of baking soda into your flour.
Into here?
Yes. Uh-oh, if it again. Actually, that's a 4th. Oh, is it coming? Actually, I'm sorry, not 2 teaspoons, but a 4th. And it's already been pre-measured. And then we have a 4th teaspoon of salt. You can also add that in there. Yes, and so now what you can do, usually I'll mix that up a little bit. There we go. And then you can put about half of that in the butter mixture. Yeah. And then you can just go ahead and turn it back on and let it mix some more. So once that gets mixed up pretty good, then we can go ahead and put the chocolate in. Oh, you do like I do and decorate yourself, huh? You might want to. And that's what 4 squares. That's 4 squares, yes, exactly.
Who gets to lick the bowl?
Oh boy. So now that that's mixing up, we can go ahead and put the rest of the flour in. Okay, now what we can do, once that all gets mixed up, we can go ahead and put it in our pan. Now what I did today, since we're going to put a little bit of twist on the brownies, we're going to make the little mini bites. And you can use the paper cups, like for the mini cupcake holders if you choose, or you can put them straight into the pan. Okay, so we're almost done with our batter. We're almost about ready to put it into our pan. So what we're going to do now, Marco, you can go ahead and put just a few of the cupcake holders in. Now see, this is where the fun part starts. So we have choices. We have raw batter, For me, that's like a blank canvas. I can do a whole lot with this batter. I can actually, before they're done, we could take some of the toppings and put it in the batter, like the nuts, the candy, the Reese's Pieces. It's pretty much open, it's your choice. Or we can just make plain cupcakes and then we'll decorate them later. Okay, so what we can do next is go ahead and put it in the pan so we can get it in the oven.
So probably what's the best way to get the batter into the pan?
I usually use a tablespoon. And
like this?
Yes.
And how far up the cup should we go?
About 3/4. We'll try 3/4.
Okay.
Because we want to get a little peak on them. Now when we fill up the ones without the liners, you can fill it up to about half, maybe a little more than half, 2/3. In order for us to have enough to fill up a pan, we're only going to do about half of that pan. Marco's gotten the batter into the pan, the brownie pan. We're going to go ahead and put the rest of the batter into the square pan. Now don't forget, you have the choice to add something to that batter or keep it plain. It's up to you.
Can we put it on top?
Yes.
Okay.
And once we take it out, we're going to decorate it again.
Ah, that sounds great.
Yes. It's the fun part, my favorite part. Okay, now we can go ahead and put them in the oven. If you guys are ready to stick it in the oven, it's up to you, or you can put some toppings on there.
Well, we can put some toppings on.
Spice it up a little bit. So
okay.
Now we're going to get ready to go to the stove, and we're going to put our brownies in so they can bake. Okay, now what we're going to do is actually put the brownies in the oven so they can start cooking. So you guys can go ahead and put the brownies in the oven.
Would you like them both on the same?
You can put them both on the same rack. And right now, as you can see, the top rack is pretty much placed in the middle. And that's whenever you're baking cakes or any breads, you pretty much want to place the rack in the middle so it won't get too brown at the top and too brown at the bottom.
How long does that stay in the oven for?
That should stay in, we're going to check it in about 20 minutes. Because the mini brownies are small, it doesn't take that long, and then we don't have that much in the pan, so it's not going to take long at all. So we'll check it in about 20 minutes. Okay, next we're going to make our ice cream. Now, this ice cream is pretty easy, it's very rich, and it's very good. It's more of on a custard side of an ice cream. What we're going to use, we're going to put 2 cups of heavy cream, a can of condensed sweetened milk, and 3 egg whites. Egg yolks, actually, sorry. So, Mr. Marco, would you do the pleasure of splitting the eggs? Tracey could actually put the milk in.
The condensed milk?
Yes.
The whole can?
The whole can of condensed milk, and you're going to need a spatula for that too. And you can go ahead and add your egg yolks into your milk. Yeah. And also that we get some vanilla. We can add, let's see, about 4 teaspoons actually of vanilla. All right, and you can go ahead and stir that in. I have the topping and totally forgot. But once you mix that in, you can go ahead and put it in the bowl. So next, we're going to go ahead and put the milk into the bowl, the heavy cream. And oh, you can just pour the whole thing in. Yes. All right, and here comes the tricky part. So We're gonna beat it, but whenever we are whipping whipped cream, you need to beat it very high, the highest you can. But you're gonna start out very slow, as it will kick that cabbage. About whipping the cream, it say like if the bowl was sitting in some ice, but being so cold, it will whip it a lot quicker.
Okay.
Okay, once it's able to form a peak, and that pretty much does, and we're done. It's ready. Okay, now what we're gonna do, you can take the bowl off, or we're gonna keep it in the bowl. All right, you can kind of, let's see, make sure we got it at the bottom. Cool. Now you can add your milk mixture and just gradually fold it in until it's all mixed in. Alright, now once she's done stirring and mixing it all in together, she's going to pour it in a dish so that it'll get hard. It's going to take about 6 hours to get firm. So you can go ahead and put that in the dish, and we're going to get it in the freezer and we'll let it set.
There we go. Ready for the freezer. And should I cover it in saran wrap?
Yes,
or a lid?
You can put the lid on it, and what I've done to even help with the coldness of it, keeping the cold in, I've even wrapped foil around it. So,
See you in 6 hours.
there you go.